You want to be on TV? Oh, what are we selling? Let's see. Hey, come here. You gotta come here. Come here. You gotta be on camera and sell this.
$5.
What is it? You gotta explain it. Explain it to that guy. It's a discount card. This is a discount card for what? For everything. So if I want to get a new car, I can get a new car for a discount. Now, if I give you, how much does it cost? If I give you $5, what are you gonna do with it? Keep it? Buy a new bicycle?
No, you keep it.
So I give you $5. I keep the $5, and I get this.
No.
Okay, I give you $5.
I keep $5.
You keep $5. I keep this.
Boy Scout.
You can't. No cheating, Mom. So it goes to the Boy Scouts. So you're not gonna buy yourself a bicycle. You gonna buy something for your parents? You are. What are the Boy Scouts gonna do with it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Hey, Mom. What are the Boy Scouts gonna do with it?
The 50 cents goes into their actual Boy Scouts account.
Okay.
Doesn't go to camp.
To help you go to. So $5. Half of it goes into your account to help you go to camp. Where are you gonna go to camp?
So we don't know yet.
You don't know yet. When do you finish selling them? How long do you have?
The end of April.
The end of April. So up until the end of April, find a local Boy Scout. For $5, you can have this discount card, and obviously you can get a discount on a car. What else? New pair of jeans. All sorts of good stuff. Moe's, Stevie B, Bass Pro, Ace Hardware. So $5, your local Boy Scout here in Taylor County, and you can get your discount card. And he's not going to buy himself a bicycle, and he's not taking his parents out to dinner. All right. I'll buy one if I have $5. Hold that.
Okay.
All right, you tell them while I'm looking for $5. Tell them who you are.
Jacksonville.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Here. Tell them who you are. No, tell them. Don't laugh. This is serious. You're on TV. Okay, Jackson's a little nervous, so he's not going to talk on TV. But what he was going to tell you if he was going to talk on TV is that this is Backyard Basics, and I don't have a $5 bill. Do you have change for a 20? Here. You got to bring me the right change, or we're scrapping the whole segment. This is going to be a good 5 minutes starting our show.
Thanks.
Is this real money? It's not counterfeit, is it? Can I have my book back? Thanks. Thank you. We need to put a sign that says no solicitations. All right, so as I was saying a minute ago, I'm Jeff Cook. This is Backyard Basics. Don't forget your discount card. But it's end of February, starting into March. Spring weather starting to kick in. Everybody's gonna be out in their yards, and they're gonna be calling me, asking questions. You know, what is this growing in my yard? What's this weed growing? And I was talking to Will before we started shooting. The reason people are calling and talking to me and asking me these questions is because they obviously don't read my newspaper articles. Because I told you in December, January, perfect time to kill winter annual weeds. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around the office lawn here, and we're just gonna point out a few winter annual weeds and things that you might have, so that you maybe save you a trip up to Butler or to your local county agent. You don't have to carry them the weed and show it to them. We'll point out some common things that are around, let you see what they look like, and then end of the show I'm gonna tell you easily how to get rid of all of them in all your yards. I never knew that the office yard would be such a good spot for a weed identification class, but it is. So what we have here is a lot of these common weeds that you're gonna see in your yard this time of year. We might just have a few more than what you have. This is one that I see a lot. This is called Carolina geranium or cutleaf geranium. This is one that's common in our yards, winter annual weeds. All these are gonna be winter annual weeds. And when I say a winter annual weed, that means that it's a weed that germinates late summer, early fall, grows throughout the winter. Flowers, like these are doing right here, puts a flower on, produces a seed. That seed, usually gets ready, gets mature, late winter, early spring, and then falls into the ground. Sits there until next year. Under all this Carolina geranium, we have what a lot of people have is hop clover. There's a big, large hop clover and a regular hop clover. This is gonna have little yellow flowers. They're gonna get a little bigger. You'll see yellow flowers all over the place. And that's another really common weed we have in our area. This one right here, not quite as common, but we do see it a good bit. We see it every once in a while. This is called dead nettle. It puts up a purple flower just like its cousin, which I'm sure we'll find in here in a little bit as we go throughout this yard. This is related to henbit, which everybody calls, in about a month, and they'll say, what's this purple flower across the pastures or in my yard? And that's a cousin to this one. This is dead nettle. It's in the mint family, have a square stem, and you can see this one starting to flower here. The henbit will have a little more purple flower than this. But we'll move on from here. We'll go to another spot and find a few more common weeds. Okay, here's one I get a good number of questions about, and usually it's when it's usually at the point when it's taken over, kind of like it's taken over this little garden area. This one is called Florida Betony. It's got opposite leaves, square stem. Another one of those in the mint family. In some places, it's actually planted as an ornamental because it has a really showy flower if you let it flower. But it can be invasive, take over. But another name for this is called rattlesnake weed, and people wonder why it's so hard to kill. And this doesn't look too threatening here, but I dug one of these plants up, and that right there, that's why it's called rattlesnake weed. It's got a little tuber, almost like a little storage structure, that every time you kill the top, it regrows from this storage structure. So you have to kill this whole storage structure before you kill this. That's what makes it so difficult. And if you really get in a spot that's overrun, you can find all kinds of these little tubers. They say these things are edible. I wouldn't recommend it. I've never eaten one, but it doesn't look too tasty to me. And when you can go down to Piggly Wiggly or grow your own potatoes, I think I'd rather have potato or sweet potato. I think I'll leave this for the birds or whatever other rodents want to feed on this. All right, so we're gonna finish it up. We've got a lot of weeds in our yard. There's a bunch of different stuff. I'm just kind of hitting on the most prevalent, the most things I see in people's yards. And right here by this wall, we got a lot of it. Right here in front of me, you got dandelion. The problem with dandelion is they got a really big taproot, kind of like the Florida Betony. They have a really big root they can come back from, so a lot of times it takes multiple times of killing it. And when it gets established like this, that footprint of it right there, handprint, whatever you want to call it, it shades out and smothers a lot of grass. Right next to it, we've got this little wimpy looking plant. This is called chickweed. Another one I see all over the place, and there's a lot of it along this wall. Over here by my left foot, got cudweed, also known as rabbit tobacco. There's a bunch of different kinds, but this one you'll notice has a really white or kind of almost grayish backside of its leaf. Lays really flat on the ground. Again, it does almost like the same thing that the dandelion does. If you look underneath this cudweed, all around it, no grass, nothing. So it really smothers out grass. Right next to it is a small little sprig of what a lot of people call and ask me about. This is annual bluegrass, and this is annual bluegrass all around my feet here. Another big patch of your cudweed, large one. And right here is the world famous, what is this purple flower in my yard? This is the henbit. Like I said, related to the dead nettle we saw earlier, but you can see a little bit of it all along this wall, a real big clump down there to the side. Those are the major things we're going to see. I just saw something right here behind this henbit that we see a lot of too. This one's actually called gnaw, and it doesn't look like it at all, but it's actually related to dandelions in the same kind of family. So that's the most common, I would say, the most common weeds that we see in turf grasses in our area or in yards in our area. Now I'm gonna tell you how to kill them. So now that I've told you, what a winter annual weed is, or as in the case of the Florida Betony, more of a perennial, what a winter annual weed is, and shown you a few of them we have around. Now I'm gonna tell you how to get rid of them, which this time of year, it's February, early March, all of our grasses are still dormant. So I would recommend, for the majority of our grasses in our area, we can use a mixture of two things. Atrazine would be one that I would use on almost all of my grasses, especially centipede, dormant Bermuda grass. that works really well to kill some of the stuff that's up and growing, and also it goes in the soil and kind of provides a little bit of a pre-emerge activity against a lot of different things. Then I would probably mix that with something like a Weed B Gone or a Trimec or one of these combination products that's made for our southern turf grasses. That's going to help get all these green things you see growing right now. Most things we have in our yards right now are still a little bit young. They haven't really started flowering yet, so you can really knock them back. The majority of our winter annual weeds, I mean all of them, have germinated. They're growing. So when you get a good kill of these things right now, you shouldn't have to worry about those purple flowers, these yellow flowers from dandelions. Don't forget though, leave a few, miss a few up, accidentally on purpose, whatever, in case you got grandkids, kids that like to pick these things. My son loves to pick them, saves them, sticks them in his pocket. You never see them again until we wash clothes. But in all honesty, those products are easy to find. You can find them here at Payne's Farm and Garden in Butler. You can find them pretty much everywhere you buy any kind of chemicals for your home or garden or farm. Easy to apply, do a really good job of controlling the weeds. And if you use the atrazine or something like that, you can actually get pretty good control on into the season. This is the time of year, 1st of March and on, where we get all these crabgrass questions, mainly because we have a lot of people listening to the TV or radio and they have all these crabgrass preventer type herbicides that they talk about, pre-emerge, and everybody's talking about it. But this is the time of year, go ahead and put your pre-emerge herbicides out before crabgrass germinates, before your summer annual weeds start germinating, and it'll keep your yard weed free on into the summer. So when you're mowing, you're only mowing your turf grass. So hopefully that helped out a little bit. Don't forget, find a local Boy Scout, buy your discount card. Hopefully that information helps you out a little bit this spring, preparing for killing your winter annual weeds and preparing to take control of your summer annual weeds, keep them from germinating, take care of that turf grass, early so it looks good early on. As always, I'm Jeff Cook. If you have suggestions, comments, ideas, email me, call our offices, let me know. And you would think doing this show for 4 or 5 years, it would be easy for me to say, I'm Jeff Cook, this is Backyard Basics, where we're filmed in your backyard. You find us on Flint Local Watch 14 or Forsyth Cable Net, Channel 19, or you can also find us on YouTube. But every once in a while, when I get to the end of my show, I forget who I am and what I'm doing here. So hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully you'll tune in next month where I'll do a better job signing off.